got injured again yesterday.
Yeah.
Ronaldo, how are you?
I don't think we're live yet.
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. What are you drinking?
What am I drinking? Coffee.
I don't see you drink coffee a lot.
It's not common. I drink it more so recently, but I think there's something that's slightly beginning to occur though. I said to Joe earlier.
Wait, what?
That
there's something beginning to occur.
Yes.
This is the poos that you need after you.
No. It's not the laxative effect. I think I've gone past that. But I've
poo goes like internally.
There've been slight uptake, and I think I'm beginning to get a little bit of a right eye twitch.
Right.
And I don't know if that's
that sounds bad.
I don't know if that's a slight
not meant to happen.
Increase of caffeine. But to be fair, it's lessened over the last 24 hours, so maybe I was just being overreactionary.
You get used to it. Yeah. Sometimes if I have caffeine when I'm tired, it just ruins my day. Like instead of making me less tired, it makes me feel awful, and I've been in the toilet 7 times before noon.
I haven't got a clean slate to start from for that.
What, bum-wise?
No, from just if I have the sentence if I have caffeine, I don't have the other.
There's no other option.
Yeah, there is caffeine.
When's your last
morning
Red Bull or caffeine drink of the day? Do you have like a rule? Do you have like an idea, or do you just flavours?
I try not to do it after like 5 or 6.
That's very late.
Yeah, I mean, I have also had it at 9 and gone to bed.
Do you sleep well on it? Are you alright with it?
Yeah, I sleep really well.
Do you? Yeah. That's surprising, that isn't it?
What?
That you sleep really well. To me.
Yeah, right.
Because you drink shitloads of caffeine. You present as someone who's relatively sort of stressed and easy to annoy, and obviously the whole kind of army thing that it's typically you imagine doesn't help you sleep. I didn't sleep all the way through for about 8 years. Right. So now you're just catching up.
Yeah, I think I'm just catching up on sleep. Yeah,
that's fair enough. that's fair enough, innit? I think if you had 8 years off when you're sleeping outdoors with a blanket over you and stuff, I think that's right. How have you injured yourself?
So I played rugby yesterday for our first time. I can't work out whether it's been 14 years or 15 years.
Why?
So last week, the 26th, was the anniversary of a helicopter crash in Afghanistan where we lost 5 mates, one of whom I played rugby with. Right. So we had... there's an annual sevens tournament where all of the units of my old regiment get together and have a sevens tournament, which is basically a sideshow for a piss-up and a catch-up.
Really. Isn't that all rugby is?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of that.
At a non-professional level?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of that, yeah. So we had his name on our shorts. It's also the 80th anniversary of D-Day, so we had a really cool sort of glider landing at Pegasus Bridge, sort of painting on the front of the shirt. It's really fucking cool. And I started off really well, right?
Did it all just come flooding back?
Oh, I was mega.
Really?
Right? And then someone threw a pass that was a bit low for me, and I'm already running, and it's like below my knee, so I've bent as I'm running, and my hamstring went, no.
That's done. Finished.
But I played 2 more games after that. I missed the second game and played the third.
So is this like 5-a-side for rugby? Obviously it's 7-a-side, but like in terms of smaller pitch?
No.
Full-size pitch, but with less players?
Yeah.
That sounds worse.
Yeah,
that's
so
more tiring.
So we're playing against serving soldiers. So they're generally not in the same shape I'm in at the moment.
No.
Right? It took them a while to figure out, let's just go around them.
Right. Because there's so much more space.
And his hammy's gone.
In
the middle, his hammy's gone.
Have you ever played rugby? I can't imagine that.
I bet he has, actually.
Yeah, I have. I played, cool. But not. I played touch rugby. I think that's a weird comment, isn't it? You do touch people in rugby anyway.
Yeah, but it's not full contact rugby.
All right, yeah, it's tag rugby, where you've got to pull the thing out where it's non-contact.
You pull the shitty tissue out their arse cheeks.
But I'm
something like that.
Yeah. But I've never been.
With rugby, there's a lot of that, actually.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah, that's true.
I was quick, but never built for rugby.
I was going to say, you're not sizable, but you've got the pace.
Yeah, but I'm stronger than my size, though. I've been like that when I play football as well, but I'm not. But rugby is different kettle of fish. My brother was a little bit more suited towards rugby because he's quicker than me and he's screw loose.
Is he?
Yeah.
He's very quick though, isn't he?
He's very quick, but he's also one of the...
And drinking port and all sorts then?
Yeah, so port's a big sort of army drink.
Is it?
It's a toast, isn't it?
It feels like the sort of drink that probably started in the army, almost. Is it named after a part of the ship and that?
I think it's named after Porto, I think.
Oh yeah, that would make sense, wouldn't it?
That sounds totally made up.
I think it's a Portuguese drink.
Yeah.
Google that, Ethan.
Because I thought it might be like an old naval thing.
It's probably a bit of both.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have a toast, It's always port involved with the army, but obviously we're in a field, so there ain't no crystal glasses for raising a toast. It's literally chug and pass it to the next one.
And how long did that go on for?
That's all like midnight last night. And then so there was like a dozen or so campers. Everyone had a T5 during the transporter.
Yeah.
And all set their tents up and everything like that. And then I woke up with the sun, because obviously you're in a tent, you're not really shaded from the sun. The sun woke me up about 5:30, and I sort of rolled over and went back to sleep again. And then I didn't hear anything until I woke up at 7:30. It was raining a little bit. I'm not packing a tent away in the rain, so I was like, right, I'm just going to wait till this sort of dies down, then I'll get out and I'll sort myself out. I popped my head out of the tent at 8. No one's left. I'm in a it's like a 6 or 8 sort of pitch-sized field, like football pitch-sized field, and it's just my car and my tent, just me. I was like, honestly, if you could have filmed my reaction at the time, because I was like, what's going on?
Sorry, where is it? Do you know what though? Right. That says a lot about the British Army to me. They can just leave silence. You cannot hear them come. You cannot hear them go. That makes me feel confident the next time there's a war that they'll just be in and out and no one will even know what's going on.
Gone.
I think you'd be good at that.
No chance. And also, we need to.
Are you doing that commando weekend?
Need to be careful. Need to be careful. Next time there's a war, I think wars are a little bit different now. When they happen, I think there's a lot more at stake. So
yeah, that's true. And it's just someone with a Game Boy and a VR headset on, isn't it?
I don't know if there's any more at stake than there ever has been.
I'm just talking about in terms of the possibility of nuclear weaponry.
Yeah, but the stakes are the same.
What, basically the world
everybody die.
The world being
just like
everybody die.
That's been on the cards since 1945.
In terms of personal, the only stake is death, really.
I think it's a lot, but it's a lot faster.
It's a lot hotter. It's certainly hotter than it used to be.
I don't know. I don't get it.
Since 1945, it's been the same. Nothing's changed.
Is Steve trying to downplay nuclear? I don't understand.
No, I'm just saying, like, the stakes isn't any higher than it has been
for 80 years or so.
Yeah, it's been the same.
That's true.
Since they dropped a nuke on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the stakes have not changed since then. They built like about 31,000 of them just on the off chance.
Everyone's got one now.
Everyone's got one now. Yeah. I think that's probably where we're getting to. Do you know what I mean? Where I don't think
one fella.
I don't think if there is a war that there's necessarily any winners is the point I'm making.
Well, there's only one country ever dropped a nuke.
Yeah.
In 80 years.
That's mad, that, isn't it?
Are we still talking about toilets?
Oh, speaking of, you see Mark Clattenburg's left Forest. I don't know how speaking.
Has he? Is he fine? Is that because is that because Gary Neville told him to
what an absolute shit show that was. He's there for like 3 months. They basically accuse a ref directly of cheating, and then he leaves.
I rate hiring an ex-ref as a football club, though. I think that is outside the box thinking. Yeah. I've thought about hiring refs in to go, what if we did this? What if we did that? What if we did this?
But is that to try and get around the rules, or is that to be like, what if we argued against this or argued? Do you mean like on the pitch? Can we do X, Y, and Z?
Yeah. Not not the things Manchester City are accused of.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But no, just like where can we push? And what's the script here?
Yeah. Trying to get advantages.
Yeah, but you think football Premier League at the highest level, you would want to be exploring every possibility. Is oat milk better for us than cow's milk? Is like distilled water better for us than Volvic?
Do you think players get sick of that though? Or you'll probably know better than me. Well, you'll know better than me. Of like almost being treated as a sort of a mathematical equation rather than a human. Do you know, like sometimes, like when we talk about tactics,
but then they have sports psychologists coming in and giving them a cuddle and that, don't they?
But does that fix it? Like, do you look at like some players don't work with Pep? They don't like how methodical, how sort of meticulous, and you stand here and you breathe this and you do that. Do you think that
don't breathe in while he's breathing in?
Well, that Zlatan just hated it, didn't he? Do you think some players don't like the whole you only eat chicken, you've got to do this, you come in 20 minutes earlier, we've analysed this, or do you think everyone's like, oh, this is great, we're all getting better? I feel like some personalities would just hate that kind of like,
of course,
1% stuff.
Of course, that's why obviously, as in anything, you see certain players perform better under different managers and different regimes. For example, you see Hazard, who at his time at Chelsea was allowed to basically pretty much eat and train and do as he liked, and performed brilliantly. and he probably was a little bit overweight for what a footballer needed to be. I don't know if it's from a BMI perspective or anything else, but then he went to Real Madrid where it was a lot more regimented. They put him on some sort of diet plan. They want him to get more into shape, and then his form completely went off a cliff.
So it's like he had that weird thing as well, where like all of a sudden he just got injured all the time. Like, do you know when you see a 90-year-old woman and she's smoking 40 a day, and the doctor's like, "You've got to stop," and she just dies within 3 weeks. That was like Hazard's health. When he started eating well and training properly, he just got injured all the time.
It's just
Red Bull makes sense.
It's like I reckon not every player can train the exact same way, and I think that's down to obviously the manager, the staff, and the club to work out what's best for certain people. Because obviously you've heard stories about the likes of Aguero, who only trained probably a few times a week apparently.
Well, Roman Van Persie his last season at United did his own shit.
Did he?
Yeah.
Just turn it when you want.
You're allowed. I think
you see that throughout all sports, don't you?
I think Vardy at Leicester.
Yeah.
All the players.
Ledley King did not train.
No.
Yeah. But they'll play on the weekend though, because they're not important. But obviously, if you're Jamie Vardy and you're Leicester, and what you've done for the club and what you mean to the club, and obviously
he's just scored another 20 this season.
Exactly. Yeah. And his hamstrings have been a bit tetchy for a lot of his career. He's a quick player, so.
Would you ever for a season? Jamie Vardy 1 year contract at United.
He's got to retire at Leicester now.
You think?
Yeah, I don't think you can see him in another shirt. I think that's almost
It'd be weird, wouldn't it? Even when there was rumours of
imagine seeing him in a Watford shirt.
No,
what the fucking hell's going on here?
That'd be gross. The only way I think he could do it is if he had 1 year at a big club, like if he went to United or like an Arsenal or whatever, just like, see you later, I'm just doing it. But if he did the whole, I'm going to keep playing at Watford and at Huddersfield and at Port Vale, that'd be sad, wouldn't it?
Or go back to Stocksbridge.
Or do 1 season in every league on the way back down and just be like, that's pretty cool.
Have you seen how they've increased the amount of players probably that you can take to the Euros?
No.
There's a possibility that you can take. That you might extend the amount of players you can take by a couple of players or so. Do you think?
Doesn't matter at Southgate. He's going to play his mates.
Yeah. Vardy can't make. Could he make it on the outside?
I don't think so. Not with the Championship season.
Should do.
Do you think?
The assets he's got, nobody else in the England squad can do.
Up front, to be fair, maybe Ollie Watkins. He's a bit.
I don't think he's got that same
outlet.
That raw, what the fuck sort of tenacity / blue wicked Red Bull kind of pace.
Yeah. Has he still got the pace though? Surely not. He can't have.
No. Not what we saw. I mean, it was 10 years ago.
It was 10 years ago, Van Gaal. Sounds so sad, isn't it? He was just smashing everyone. But that's when he first
What date did Moyes go? Because that was recently, wasn't it? The anniversary of Moyes going.
Yeah, well, it will have been.
It was April.
Yeah. So what? In 2 months, Van Gaal comes.
Oh my God! How has it been 10 years?
I don't know. We've had 2 years of Ten Hag. They go quick because you think, well, no one's here very long. But then it's been 2 years. That's not like in life terms. That's not nothing.
I remember not enough time, don't it?
I remember as Moyes was going, I said something like, "Listen, it's going to suck, and it might suck for 5 years."
No, did he?
No, that's. I would pay so much money for it to have only been shit for 5 years. It's been so bad.
That would have been 2019, wouldn't it?
Did you watch the Ten Hag interview with Neville?
I've not, no.
You've seen it, haven't you?
Yeah, I've seen bits of it.
I actually thought it was quite good. What did you make of it?
Is it on Sky?
It's on Sky. YouTube, on Sky. His interview, I'm not going to lie, I've been quite critical of him, as people know. But I thought the interview, I thought he come across quite well, to be honest with you. A lot of people are kind of nitpicking at his delivery, when obviously his English is sometimes a little bit fractured, but kind of hearing him detail certain stuff, I found myself feeling, yeah, I do hear you. Like, I found his interview quite insightful, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I know I kind of agree with certain aspects of what he's saying, and this is coming from a person that has been very critical of him. I'm not saying this interview completely absolves him from everything, but I do fully hear.
It felt a lot more honest than like the press conferences we've seen recently. Like,
press conferences have got a bit
weird.
Yeah, it's felt a bit
okay,
aren't they? Yeah, like everything's great. Look how great we are. We've just drawn.
I think we're really entertaining.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. No.
Yeah. So basically, Steve, he was talking about stuff like with his tactics and the balance and how he struggled not having a left-footed centre half and a left-footed left back. With like his build-up and certain things. He talked about that.
There's a bit I really liked as well where Neville said, have you not thought about being a bit more pragmatic, being a bit more defensive? And he was like, well, we have thought about that. Yeah, we thought about that, of course. But then he said, then we've got to learn how to play that way. Then if you don't get results, not only are we playing defensive, but we're still losing. Then when the players come back, you have to then flip back again to the style you wanted to play originally. It's like, I'd rather just play try and play a bit more attacking with lesser players and it not be great than go one way back. It might not work anyway, and then try and go back again. Like I like that he's at least saying, yeah, we've thought about that. He actually admitted things. I felt like
he said like 30 different centre half partnerships in 47 games.
It's been wild, but I don't think just changing the centre half partnerships fixes the hole in the centre of midfield.
No.
Yes.
That's the problem.
Yeah, and he kind of mentioned, like, obviously I agree with that, and he mentioned about how he thinks some of the defenders and how they're pressing and pushing up and getting used to each other is kind of to do with that. Like, we're trying to play a high line, and Neville kind of said, we can see that's not working really. And he mentioned as well about De Jong, because Neville said, you tried to get De Jong last summer, and he was like, twice they mentioned him. First of all, he said, he kind of agreed that we tried to get him all summer, and then Neville said, is not getting him one of the reasons why you can't play like Ajax? Like, why did you say you can't play like Ajax? He said, you have to play to the players you have. He's like, someone of the style of Frenkie de Jong is crucial to play how we did at Ajax.
That was part of part of the interview I didn't disagree with, because he is saying that he can't play to the Ajax way because of the personnel that can't do it. But I still see him kind of tactically putting players in situations that don't suit him anyway. Do you know what I mean? So like, I don't know, because sometimes he sets up the team, and I know sometimes that's due to injuries where players are being put in positions that they're not good enough to do. Do you know what I mean? Which obviously comes down to the fact that maybe the players aren't at the level. Maybe we need better players. The fact that someone's probably starting in that position that would start, that's probably not fair. But I think what Gary Neville was getting at is him just kind of adapting slightly. I kind of get his point with saying if you flip from being almost like this air hockey type of football style to being quite Mourinho and pragmatic and defensive, that it'll be difficult to kind of flip the mentality and the switch the other way. But I don't know, it's, at the end of the day, it's the results game business in football. And if you're playing that way, air hockey, and it's not working, you're losing results, you're having so many shots against you, it's going to cost you your job. But sometimes it might be better off for the betterment of United, maybe nicking a result here or there, especially with placing being so important in the league, rather than just being like, I'm just going to stick to my style anyway, even though it's not working, and I'm going to lose this game against whoever we might lose against if we lose Palace next, or you draw at Burnley.
I do think that some of that is, like he said, you're not guaranteed to win more games just because you're defensive. Like, most of the teams that get relegated every year play defensively, and that's not why they lose. But you're not like definitely. This
is what I've been arguing with people. Why do people automatically misconstrue being pragmatic with being parking the bus? Being more pragmatic doesn't mean parking the bus. It just means being slightly more compact, which probably even for where United are when you see us set up, isn't defensive still anyway, because we are so open. Week in, week out, that being a little bit more pragmatic than that doesn't mean we're going to be sitting on the edge of our own box. That is not what I'm talking about.
Bringing in Martinez, I mean, like what you're bringing in. You bring in Martinez and Shaw. Do we now not concede 40 shots a game?
No. I don't think that changes that.
Because I don't necessarily think that's pure personnel. That feels structural to me. No, we were open from that Wolves game and it ain't changed.
Yeah.
Like, I feel, honestly, if I had a pound every time I've said that this season, I'd buy us a new centre-half.
Yeah. It was weird, wasn't it? Like, from the first game of the season, you could just say, something's not right here. Yeah. And it hasn't got right for 9 months now. It was weird. You could see it straight away, couldn't you?
That's why I argued against some of the personnel last time. But because I think the way United have been hurt with not having Martinez and Shaw is the fact that they are two of our best technical players in the team. So that's going to help. That's going to affect you in terms of on the ball and building up. But
when you lose it, you still lose it.
But exactly. But that, I don't know how much Shaw and Martinez changed the fact that when we've got forwards pressing, huge gaps in midfield, and the structural setup seems to be so open and expansive, where the games like this and that, I think it's less personnel in that standpoint, and I think that's just how Ten Hag set up structurally and tactically, which is wrong. And literally the simple fix has been the fact that you've got a back four that sits deep and doesn't commit further forward, and then you've got a forward line that's going to press, and then you've just got these massive disjointed gaps. And I don't think personnel has much to do with that. Do you know what I mean? Off the ball as it does on the ball with Martinez and Shaw.
One thing you said about that, which I don't disagree with you, by the way, I think that whoever it is can stand 5 yards further up the pitch or can change their shape slightly or whatever. You don't need to be a world-class player to stand in a certain position. But one thing he did say is that kind of countered that, because you mentioned about Casemiro being left by himself in the middle quite a lot. Neville did, and then Ten Hag said one of the other big things is we can't keep possession the way I want because of the personnel. Which obviously it doesn't change what happens when you're out of possession, but it means that there are less transitions.
We get less transitions.
Yeah, and you've probably scored a couple more goals or whatever. I think
if City was getting the amount of ball losses that we are, and being hit on the counter the same way we are, would City look as good?
Yeah,
because they can look fairly vulnerable unless you go down.
They were
Kyle
shocking
Walker's
against
side.
Forest. Did you watch them against Forest? They were like two evenly matched teams almost. I think City looked slightly better quality, but like Forest had better XG, more shots. Like that's what City look like when they're at their worst. And we look like that. They have in that game all season.
Because people would say that maybe with Martinez and Shaw that you can push further forward than the current back line. I'm not sure about that because the back four that we've been seeing lately, even when Varane's played, is probably the only slow defender in the back line has been maybe Maguire. I think if you've got a back four of
Casemiro and Maguire's pretty rough.
Yeah, Casemiro and Maguire is the one where I thought you can't afford to be high with them.
I am not looking forward to Monday with Eze and Elise running through past them.
Eze's a doubt, but if he's playing, I know if Palace are playing, it is a concern. But I think a back line of Delo, Wan-Bissaka, and maybe sometimes with Varane, that's quick enough to play a high line.
Delo's not bad with speed. I think Wan-Bissaka's real fast, but Wan-Bissaka's sort of anticipation,
bit sleepy.
Yeah,
leaves a lot.
Not the quickest at reading it. He's not a natural defender, so I think he's late to see things that a slower player probably gets there in a similar kind of time because they was aware of it, watching it, waiting for it to unfold.
Like a Branislav Ivanovic is just 2 steps ahead of you already because he's seen it. He's not particularly quick, but he didn't get caught out of position very often.
And that's Lequeo.
Yeah,
or a Zabaleta or something.
That kind of player, where they're smart but not
so
quick.
you see a lot of Wan-Bissaka steaming and having to slide in, but a lot of that is because he wasn't in the right spot in the first place.
Yeah, we've seen that with a few of the offside, like the Coventry one.
The offsides, he's very frequently sort of ball watching a little bit.
I don't know if we ever spoke about it on here. I know it's football, and it's not United though. Has anyone ever gone a full season undefeated before? Like Leverkusen are currently doing. Has that ever happened? Like actually invincible?
You mean not like Arsenal's?
Not like we lost loads
Preston
of games
win
in
the league and the
competition.
cup when in like the first ever league?
Did they? What, in like 1890 or something?
1888, is it?
Yeah.
As far as I know, I don't know, but I think Arsenal.
Do we count that? Do we count anything that starts with 18?
I think
anything
for me,
before the first
Second World War feels like a real sort of watershed.
It's really convenient
because half of the countries
we won the league pretty quickly after that, and we won the cup straight
for
away.
us. That
it's really good. Matt Busby was a manager, so So realistically, that's modern football, isn't it? Before that, really,
pretty much.
You're looking at all those fuckers like kicking a fucking pig's bladder around in a village somewhere, aren't you?
I think as well because almost none of those players are still alive, and there was no footage. I think
the thing is, professional teams playing against amateur teams in the top flight.
Yeah.
And people going, no, we are staunch. Because it's Victorian as well, so there was a lot of honour in being amateur. Meanwhile, like, I don't want to cast aspersions here, but it was a lot of northerners that was, possibly even us, that were paying players to play. Yeah. Whereas there was a lot of southern teams like, that will do it for honour.
Yeah.
Whereas the northern ones were like, fuck you, mate, we're going to win.
Yeah, we're going to spend cash and win.
Which maybe or maybe not what happened at Preston. I don't know. I wasn't there.
So, here you go, look. So, no association football team has ever achieved a perfect season across all competitions.
What does perfect mean? Because that means winning every game.
As in undefeated? Completely undefeated. So, it's never happened.
Right.
That would be incredible, wouldn't it? If you did that?
It is incredible, but have you seen that they've had about 7 or 8 last minute equalisers?
I think it's more than that. It's like 12.
It feels like a bit like 99 season, doesn't it? Where it's like, they're going to live. Cancel like deleted.
I think it's approaching conspiracy time. I don't know.
No, is it folk?
What would be the conspiracy?
That everyone's... Big Pharma. It's Bayer. And why don't they get any abuse for that, by the way?
Something similar to what...
Because it predates modern football, that's why.
They are no different to this lot, FC.
No.
All I'm saying is...
Neither is Wolfsburg. They're basically owned by VW, aren't they?
It's literally VW.
Get to Leverkusen's pitch, right?
Big old vag.
Go on, sorry.
Get Pogba. I think someone needs to dig up the centre of that pitch because I don't know. I feel like the amount
Wait, what?
What do you think's happened on the
Some sort of dark magic, Illuminati, something.
Well, listen, as we know, voodoo and dark magic is absolutely real.
It is real.
Just ask Paul Pogba's brother.
And Paul Pogba's career.
Yeah, well, yeah. We need... Is there not a Yelp for, like, voodoo?
There's got to be a sort of an easily accessible voodoo...
On a dark web?
...kind of website piece. Surely.
Yeah.
Voodoo, you think you are?
If you know... Good one. Well played.
TV show.
If you know anyone that is a reputable voodoo or black magic kind of guy, let's get in touch.
I don't want anyone doing sort of grey magic, brown magic, black magic.
Black magic. Straight black magic.
No, not advocating for anything cult related.
No, just good old fashioned voodoo. Yeah. So if you know someone who can do voodoo, a couple of like references, yeah? Or if you know the guy that did Pogba's, put him in touch, let's get his rates, and we'll see if we can finally get the Premier League to look into City stuff.
There's some black magic just happened on the television.
But it just generally is amazing what Leverkusen are doing, and the fact that they've had so many last-ditch equalisers to like salvage this record. Because on the flip side of it, other than conspiracy, it could just be the fact that they've got something to hold on to with that, so that when it comes to last-minute games or stoppage time, they're pushing for it, and almost get drawn towards it. But
and I remember, like with Arsenal, it had a similar feeling. Like they were going for 50, they were going for the league, and then they were going for 50. Was it 49 they got in the end, won it or whatever?
Yeah. What happened, Joe?
Manchester United happened, and it was one of the fairest, least dirty games I've ever seen. But the other thing as well, I remember when United got those 14 clean sheets in a row, and after we stopped getting clean sheets, we couldn't get one anymore. Like, I've got a feeling Leverkusen next season could drop off massively, because if you don't have a season where you've got 12 last-minute winners, all of a sudden that's like 17 points
revert
difference.
To the mean.
Yeah, like I think they probably do better than they have done in recent years. But like, I could easily see them
doing
like,
a repeat of, even if they won the league again, is seriously impressive, because now their cards are marked.
Yeah.
They're better scouted now because they're champions. They've got Champions League to contend with. Players might be getting sponsorship deals and women thrown at them. Yeah. Like, there could be all sorts of off-pitch distractions. Some players win a league and go, anyway, that'll do for me.
Yeah.
Like, so you don't know what the motivations are. Like, you want those hungry players. Like, they've just done this with Xhaka in the team.
Yeah.
I mean, he was turbo finished when he left Arsenal, and now he's just won the league.
Yeah. And he's been quality.
And he's been quality.
Because he got progressively worse for Arsenal, and then had like a really good year, and then left Leverkusen and sort of stayed at that level. Like, it looked like he was done, and then he had that 1 year last season where he was really good, and then now he's just carried that on. He's just a new player again.
It's crazy. It depends how much of their players stay as well. Obviously,
I was just going to say that.
Sounds like a lot.
Who is getting picked apart out of that?
And
it feels like none of them at the moment.
Do you feel like
with Xabi staying?
It's a bit unfair on Bayern as well. Before we move on to that, is the fact that everyone thinks that Tuchel and Bayern have had this kind of disastrous season. Do you know they're on course to have like their best points total in years and not win the title?
But it's still funny.
And it's because they signed Harry Kane, which goes back to my voodoo point.
I kind of want Bayern to win the
cursed.
Champions League. I quite like him to get a Champions League. I don't know why.
But not Dyer, though.
Yeah, that's true. How can we get Kane one without getting Dyer one? Because he doesn't deserve one. Kane does. Kane's got like 44 goals in 45 games this season.
It's unreal.
He's unbelievable.
How many times do you reckon he's gone home after a game and sobbed into his Egyptian cotton pillows, just fucking big man tears into him? He's got one
of those big pint glasses that you have when you win the league, but it's just empty.
He's not
slowly filling with his tears.
And he cries, and then he looks up and he just sees like in his cabinet about 19 golden boots.
Yeah,
and
Player of the Month medals. Oh God!
But where's the medal?
I think he might. I think they might get the Champions.
Got more. Go.
I think they might do it.
It's close, though, isn't it? I mean, it's iffy. There's 4 good candidates there in the semis.
Yeah, Dortmund were a lot better than I thought. What did you make of Sancho? Did you see him?
He balled out his skin. Not gonna lie to you. He was quality.
He did.
It was one of them where, like, if his name was like a Neymar, a Bale, or everyone would be saying that's like an all-time performance.
It was reminiscent of Bale versus Inter. It was on that. It's a Champions League semi-final. You got to put some respect on that level of performance. As United fans, it's proper side-eyed though.
Yeah. Because
we're like, you fucking Bell, we can't even beat Burnley, and here's you just fucking looking like you're in a cage playing against King PSG.
I know.
Knob.
I thought his United friends should be buzzing. You just seeing his transfer value just go.
Yeah, probably an extra 5 million for that performance.
Well, an extra 5 mil for his performance, an extra 5 mil for their tweet after it.
Yeah.
I think
Dortmund are
because
just obsessed, aren't they? Imagine they don't try and sign him now after they're giving it all this. What was it like? Put some respect on his name. A lot of you.
We were all familiar with his game from the start. You lot.
Yeah, because now his value is going to go up, and then obviously we're looking to sell him, and then you're looking to sell like obviously sell Greenwood, etc. So you're looking at the possibilities of some income, because obviously he has been nominated for the Liga Team of the Year, by the way.
Yeah, I mean we're also going to we're going to have the
so of 18 other attackers, by the way. Not that he hasn't been all right, but it wasn't like the top 3. Yeah. There's 19 of them. But anyway,
we're also going to have like just a little bit of a small sponsorship deal, £800 million Ineos Player of the Month, new sponsorship that we're going to be announcing next week.
Is that from the Man City playbook?
Completely above board.
Yeah, we need to start doing a bit of that.
Is that from the Man City playbook? I swear.
Yeah.
Ten Hag does one talk at Team Sky cycling and gets paid 50 million quid for it, like Mancini used to. Bits of that, do you know what I mean? Like, let's start. If they can get away with it, surely we can get away with it.
It's entirely above board. It's what every City fan tells me.
There was a rumour today.
Sorry, both City fans.
That's going to pay for Tadibo by accidentally on purpose, isn't it? That.
Yeah, can't we just get him for free?
Ideal.
And I think you can loan him.
Oh yeah, we should do that like City did with Aaron Moy. Just got him.
Like Newcastle attempted to do with. What's his name? Was it Neves?
Yeah, João Neves.
So City fans tweeted me before. Let me find it actually, because it was about Girona had been investigated for financial irregularities.
You're joking. What, this team that's absolutely been terrible for their whole history and now they're one of the best teams in La Liga?
They went from being terrible to being, we're better than Real Madrid and Barcelona.
I mean, obviously, allegedly, doesn't Pep's brother allegedly own like 25% of that team?
And United and Man City have already signed one of their better players.
Who actually,
Savio.
weirdly, isn't even a Girona player. Isn't he a PSV player? Or they bought him from PSV or something. Like, it was
the
bizarre.
winger Savio.
It's entirely above board. So,
He's
Football España, which means Spain, says FC Girona accused of financial irregularities as part of their deal to sign Artem Dobrik, right?
Yeah.
So I put, I for one am shocked, right? And then a City fan, half the fan base, replies to me, Howson, you thick, see you next Tuesday. At least do a small amount of research. Why would I do a small amount of research when I can just retweet something funny?
Because it's just funnier to not do research. If you've ever been onto it before, it's not a place for research.
Yeah.
Is it?
It's not a place for facts.
No.
The dispute relates to the agent being a resident of Estonia and the payment being made to his company, nothing to do with Girona. Well, it's clearly a lot to do with Girona, isn't it?
Yeah, also...
because the title of the article was FC Girona being investigated for financial irregularities. It's clearly a little bit to do with FC Girona.
Yeah. And also, if they're paying his agent to some dodgy address, that's very City Group.
It's at least do the very basics research before peddling bullshit.
Well, I'm pretty sure Savio plays for PSV, but who I think are kind of... Is it PSV? And got loaned to Girona and is being sold from them to City. Like, it is weird because he's their best player, but he doesn't ever play for them. Like, he's on loan, even though he's their best player. I have no idea
how the workings are happening there, but it's...
Joe, there's City fans on Twitter, and why would they be wrong and why would they lie? They said everything's above board. It's a witch hunt.
That's true. There was a rumour today going around. Did you see that the charges were dropped? Did you see that?
No.
And someone from the Daily Mail had to be like, just so you know, that's absolute bullshit. But there was a report going around like, and I saw it, I was like, and then I immediately saw the tweet saying, this is not true.
The Premier League guy, I saw it in Romanos about a week ago saying that the result from the hearing probably will be announced after the season finishes.
Yeah, it was meant to be.
Do you know what, man? On a serious note, if nothing happens to them with the severe sort of reprimands that the likes of Forest and Everton have had, when City have, I think I'm pretty safe in saying this, allegedly been really obstructive with any investigation all the way through. Yes, I can understand that you go, these emails have been gotten in a iffy way, right? Yeah. That's fair, but sometimes that's how investigations come about, and that's, evidence is evidence. Whether or not you go, you shouldn't have been allowed to see that. Well, I did. Now what are you going to do? Yeah. The fact that City were charged by the Premier League, I'm sure it was within like a couple of weeks or a month or something of the Court of Arbitration for Sport ruling, where they were acquitted. Yeah. Again, you have to look into it. They were acquitted because of a time thing. Yeah. Not that they didn't do it. They didn't say you didn't do this. They said
still got
we
charged.
can't.
They still got fined like £4 million.
Yeah.
but they just didn't have to have a transfer ban and kicked out of European competition and stuff.
So when the Premier League charged them, when they've just been acquitted or just been whatever it was on the last one, you have to think, fucking hell, the Premier League, and then there's all the other things like the Premier League. There's no appeal. There's no this, that, and the other with the Premier League's ruling. That's what's happening.
This is it.
The Premier League looked ridiculous and toothless if after all of this time, all of this evidence, it's not like we've got City on 3 charges. 115 charges is fucking insane, right?
Yeah.
Are they guilty of 115? I have no idea. I am not privy to any information on that. But the fact is 115. Are you telling me every 115 of those charges was incorrect or wrong or made up or can't be proved?
Yeah, because it wasn't like the 115 charges was a list that Stephen Howson, Man United fan, came up with. This was a list that Premier League lawyers came up with. Like, this didn't just it's not like a rumour or a conspiracy theory. No. These are people have looked over the details and gone, we can count 115 problems here. We want to prove it. Like, it's not just a guess or an idea. It's like someone has seen this shit and thinks this is how many there are. Like, the idea that none of them are inaccurate would be
doesn't
mad to
sit.
me.
And if they go, actually, that was a load of old cake, you go, I think they've got to choose which path they're going down. One is that for the last 10 years, the competition has been corrupted with a team doing some cheating, or we can't prove them guilty of things that they may have done. I think the Premier League's in a real bad situation. So it's genuine rock and hard place. Either the competition is no longer credible for the last 10 years. Yeah. And when you see, and this might be playing into their minds, and I hope it's not.
100% is.
Were you about to talk about Italy?
Yeah. When you see when they went, that was bogus. Now that was different. That was a different. This is like hiding your finances is what City have been accused of.
Yeah.
Pretending, like, they still spent money, right? No one's saying you didn't spend money. They're saying you lied about where the money came from. That's totally different level of cheating to bribing referees. This is literally like, as United fans, we go, yeah, fucking do them. Ultimately, it doesn't fucking matter. And it isn't cheating to what happened in Italy.
No.
It isn't cheating
to the league into WWE.
Is this why Omar Barada slid through the back door?
I don't know. We all hope that that's the case.
Yeah.
Because that was the concern brought up, was like, when City receive any type of sanctioning or whatever, if Omar Barada had any sort of involvement whilst being at City, how would that affect him in his tenure going forward?
I would be stunned if we see people getting banned from football and stuff like that. Which
no,
is
it's clearly an organisational thing.
Yeah, I don't.
So the organisation takes a hit, doesn't it?
I think it would be a strange one. Obviously, if they're proven guilty, which we don't know, it would be mad to me that basically if they don't get a massive points deduction or something similar, or
can't find them. Can't find rich people.
No, there's no point. Especially now they're saying we're going to change to that model in 2 years. Well, now you've got to stick with the current model. If they don't do a punishment either as severe or far more severe than what Forest and Everton have got, you're basically saying you might as well financially dope and cover it up than just do it and admit it. Because at least Everton and Forest went, we've got 21 million in sort of negative net spend here. And City went, no, everything's great. Look, here's where we got our money from, this 40 million quid sponsorship from a betting company no one's ever heard of. Like, you might as well lie and cover it up.
That was registered in court yesterday.
Was it? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, like, we've got... I think it would be a terrible thing for the Premier League to be like, you're better off cheating and covering it up than cheating and admitting it. Like, that's a bad precedent to set.
Because, like, I believe Everton and Forest and all that lot, when he went, show us your books, they went, there's our books. And he went, this don't add up. And he went, oh.
Yeah.
And he went, boom, points deductions all over the show. Whereas City they went, show us your books. And he went, fucking fight me.
Yeah. I know, the books are behind this really big bloke. Yeah.
Actually, 27 of them, and they're all lawyers.
And absolutely jacked for some reason.
They're all lawyers. And when we say how much they're paid by the hour, you go, a month or an hour.
Yeah.
And they go, no, an hour.
They must have some sensational lawyers.
And do you know what?
Oh, God.
What do you reckon's bigger? What City have spent on agents' fees? Not transfers, that's wild, but agents' fees.
Yeah.
Or lawyers.
What?
Since they took over.
Agent fees.
It's got to be agent fees, but that it's going like that at the minute. Isn't
Slightly.
They're getting the whole
Slightly
team
balancing
in.
out.
Like, there's just hundreds of blokes with briefcases and blacked out glasses just walking into.
It's so worth your while to do that.
You heard some things about the lump sum that Haaland's dad might have received.
How's he got
transfer.
that? What is that, like a sort of a sperm fee? What is that?
It's a sperm.
Like he's a
It's
racehorse or something?
It's a sperm fee because some
What is that?
dads in football are like that because I'm pretty sure when Neymar was going. Neymar was going to PSG. Neymar's dad was something like my dad. The only way that Neymar signs for you is if you drop 20 million in my bank.
Yeah, he's like, listen, I'd like to build a hotel, and it's 7-star in Rio de Janeiro on the beach that I own. I'd like to do that. That's a dream of mine.
Yeah, we can sort that for you. I wonder if in football history, let's say a child is born, Haaland, right?
Swim faster than a shark.
Swim faster than a shark. A boy can swim faster than a shark. Do you think a team has ever put pressure on a mum and dad to have another child to try to get another player of that quality? Do you think they've ever been like, you ever thought about having a couple more kids? Do you think that's ever happened? Genuinely?
Oh, they've gone to Alfie Inga Haaland,
Yeah.
and they've said, hey, do you like Serena Williams?
Yeah.
Because the fucking child you two could make
I wonder if
would
that's
be
ever
some
happened.
sort of cyborg-looking fucker.
Let's see if we can get 2 or 3 more kids. Like Raphael and Fabio, like people where the families
imagine
really good.
LeBron James and Serena Williams.
It's impossible.
But they just dominate every sport.
The kid would be like, because
The kid would be banging to piano and not want to touch sport, and everyone would
just
be
be the
probably.
biggest nerd of all time.
That's the mad. That's
They're
the
like,
thing.
watch this. You're like, no, we want to see you fucking scoring.
That's generally true.
15-foot basketball hoop.
Because that could actually happen. Do you know what I mean? That's what's crazy about it. Because LeBron and Serena could have a kid, and the kid just could be.
I
like,
reckon if you
not
looked
any sport
into
whatsoever.
like the general public's sort of chances of becoming a professional versus your dad was a professional chances, I reckon it's probably tenfold more likely for those who.
And what percentage of that do you think is genetics, and what percentage of that do you think is like
environment,
training?
I could pay for coaches. I know things I can tell you.
I can get you in at the academy.
Yeah.
How much of that do you think?
There's an argument against that actually, where people think, especially in some sports like the NFL and the NBA, that it's more likely for kids to make it in these sports when they've grown up a little bit rougher than when they've had
the hunger,
because of the hunger element, the attitude, the adversity. When you're like LeBron James' son, Bronny Jr., and you've just basically had everything on a silver platter in terms of trainers and that, do you have that same almost like dog mentality inside you that makes you become that? Yeah, but he's
gonna get in the NBA, even if he's not good enough.
Because I'm not gonna lie to you, if you go through all the best athletes in the NFL or NBA, probably football's quite working class in itself. And I reckon a majority of the best footballers or the best sports athletes to ever play in these sports have all grown up either working class or less, and like kind of made it out from the mud almost.
Oh yeah, massively.
So that's
there's
why
still a serious. When you consider, like, if you took 1,000 random fellas, just 1,000 random fellas, right?
Yeah.
And said, right, how many of these are going to birth a kid that plays Premier League football? But then you took 1,000 Premier League players.
Yeah.
How many of their children are going to play Premier League football? It might be 20. It might be 100.
It must be a lot higher.
I think it's significantly higher.
Because you see it so often, don't you? Yeah. So many, not the greatest of all time players, admittedly, but you do see so many players who have got footballing or sporting parents.
Well, even if you just think Premier League, we could probably reel off, I bet, 25 here between us.
What, currently playing or just all time?
That have played in the Premier League, that's either a father and a son or something like that. Or their father played or whatever.
Easy. You could do
Adiga Johnson, Peter Schmeichel, Haaland,
Sean Wright Phillips, Bradley Wright Phillips.
Yeah.
Like,
no, it's you could probably quite quickly get to like 25.
Yeah.
Whereas, it's obviously harder to do with the random, who's his dad kind of affair. But yeah, I think there's an element of, how hard is someone willing to. What's the phrase? There's a silk pajamas phrase that's so eloquent.
Like sacrifices, everything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it goes hand in hand, innit? A lot of these players, they wanted a better life for themselves and their family. They've had a talent and they've dedicated everything they possibly had to it because they almost felt like there was no other option, and then their families almost fed into that. Yeah. I think sometimes
a club's more willing to take a risk on you due to your name.
Definitely.
That's what you look at, like Harvey Neville, Giggs' son, Fletcher's sons. Now, some of them might go on and eclipse what their dad did.
Yeah.
Some of them, probably most of them, won't. But I wonder how much of their careers is because of the name on the back of the shirt.
Hasn't Cristiano Ronaldo's son played for like Real Madrid?
Yeah, everyone he's played
Man
for.
United. Like,
now he's at fucking whatever they're called, Atletico, what they're called.
Yeah, it's not a coincidence, is it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Obviously, there will be some.
Rooney's son sounds like
Rooney's son looks like he's going to be.
He's Harry Kane. And do you remember that? Where he's like, we lost 5-4, I scored 4. That's Harry Kane for Bayern Munich this season, isn't it? We lost again, but still got a hat trick. Like we didn't win the league, but I'm the top scorer in the league by an absolute fucking mile.
He could do something bad, looks of him.
Rooney's son. He's got that same kind of like. What are you looking at about him, Annie?
Yeah, and I think that's that mentality, maybe is schooled out of them at a private school and this, that, and the other. In some instances, obviously not in all instances.
Yeah, and like you said, that thing of like you see it where, from the age of about 12, the whole family's career and life is built around getting this person professional. Like
especially in some American sports,
like we're all working.
When you watch the
it.
drafts and you see like they're choosing which club they're going to go for. This is for the high school drafts as well, not like obviously the NFL draft. That's everyone.
For a college,
everyone that's at
college,
that has just made 30 million.
Yeah,
don't worry about it. But people that are going to, they're deciding which college team to go for, and they've got like 7 hats in front of them, and like people are so invested. It's insane. He just chose to go to Ashton Sixth Form, right?
Yeah. Basically, yeah. That's exactly.
And he's like, am I going Loretto? Is Severian? Like, whoa, which one has he got, mate?
That's it.
Just,
it's because of their system from high school onwards. They're given they're given a star for their recruiting. So like you're either a 5-star recruit,
I'm jealous.
4-star recruit.
I'm absolutely jealous about
I mean?
the seriousness at which sport is taken with American colleges.
Yeah.
Their college is their non-league system, essentially.
Yeah, yeah. It's their way of doing it with that, whilst only having one proper professional league. Right, what are you doing this weekend? Anything good?
Do you know what's mad? It's bank holiday weekend, mid-20s, and I have 0 plans.
Mid-20s as in temperature or as in your age?
I wouldn't be
both in it.
I think mid-20s for temperature would be a little bit of a concern. Do you know what I mean? You're meant to be about 27, 28.
You don't. Obviously, when it gets hot, you'll take your jacket off. But you're not quick to jump into a t-shirt or a vest, are you?
Certainly not quick to jump into shorts ever.
Or shorts.
Or shorts. Yeah, you like to trouser, longer sleeve. Does the summer months bother you? Do you like?
That might be cultural.
Is it?
Or like, yeah.
I think it's that you've got proper baby calves.
I've got baby calves, so I don't really put shorts on. But also, I think.
Why do you wear shorts?
I also think. Compared to
the arse out and the ankles covered.
I think compared to you two, I'm a little bit more.
Are you wearing shorts now?
I'm a little bit more heat resistant as well than you.
Oh, so you. That makes sense.
Are you wearing shorts now?
No, I've got a long trouser on today, but underneath it I'm wearing shorts.
Okay.
Shorts of the mind. What are you doing this weekend?
We got a game tomorrow, 3:00, St Helens.
Can anyone come and watch?
Anyone can come and watch.
Where is it?
St Helens.
Oh, you said that.
And then I don't know what I'm doing. Probably something real boring like cleaning my garage.
I'm going so boring. I'm going to go to the cinema twice by myself, back to back.
What are you watching?
Wait. Well,
I'll come with you.
By myself, and I can't wait. Do you know that the Fall Guy, whatever it's called, looks a bit crap actually, but also I want to see that Challengers as well, that tennis one.
Someone's told me Civil War's really good.
Oh yeah, they think probably like that. Jesse Plemons and that.
Who?
Jesse Plemons.
Yeah, you said that, but
Jesse Plemons is the ultimate. He's the ultimate actor that you've seen him in loads, but you don't know his name. When you see him, you go, "Oh yeah, I recognise him." He's in Fargo.
Plemons? Is it
When Life Gives You Plemons?
Right. Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Jesse.
Make excellent films.
Plemons.
You'll definitely.
Oh,
do you know what I mean? You know him, don't you?
Wow.
Yeah.
I bet he's been in. Everything.
He's in everything, and he's a fantastic actor, but people don't know his name. Do you know who Jesse Plemons is?
No, I don't.
When I show you a picture, you ready to go? Yes, I do. You ready?
I don't know him.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Wait. Oh, yeah, I do.
Yeah, that's him. That's the ultimate. Yeah, so I might watch that as well then. Make it a 3-peat on Sunday. That's what I want to do.
Interesting.
Right, should we call it a day?
Yeah.
You going to the 99 premiere?
I hope so. If I can get in, I'd love to. Are you going?
Yeah, I think I'm on 2 guest lists for it.
Okay, well,
I might be red carpet as well. At the moment it stands though, I don't know. I might have to see if I can get a +1, and that +1 might be a 5-year-old that doesn't like football.
Is that allowed?
Well, it might be after what we roll the dice with.
What's the film? It's not an 18, is it? It's got to be a PG at best.
I mean,
at worst.
There's certain parts which are definitely
That's what
18.
I mean. There could be some swearing and.
I don't mean I'm not about that. I'm on about when the audience takes its fucking pants off.
Oh, yeah,
the last 2 minutes of the final.
Oh, do you think they'll play it in full? Like, do you know when they did the Freddie Mercury thing where they played? They play a lot of the what's it called?
Singing.
No, the what's it called? Where they did like the world concert thing.
The
Live Aid, yeah. And at the end they play like a lot of Live Aid. Do you think they'll do like play the full from the first corner?
Do you know
to the
what
end of the
I
game?
hope they do? So no one's paying attention. I'll give you a little secret. Like fucking 90% of the squad's there, right?
Yeah.
As you would imagine.
Yeah.
But it is, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
What I hope they do, and I may see if I can procure myself a European Cup to take down there to make sure that this happens. I hope they replicate the trophy lift by every single individual player at the end of the show.
That'd be so
Do you like
good.
they did on the pitch at the new camp, where it's just
Yeah.
every single player comes up and goes,
Gets to go eat. That'd be so good, wouldn't it? Like at the end of a play where everyone does their individual.
Yeah,
part,
but
everyone gets to lift the Champions
Get
League.
Van der Gaal up, let's go, come on. Hey!
So
And then it's
good.
Schmeichel and Jay's going,
We just Jay hating it. Do a cartwheel, you twat. Jay was so mad. I'd love that. Just spending 2 hours watching them all do it over and over.
yeah, even if if they said to me, do you know what, we're not actually going to play the film, what we are going to do is this for 2 hours,
Yeah.
I'd have been like, sign me up.
Perfect.
me
Absolutely
popcorn.
perfect. That's going to be fantastic. Here you go.
I won't be there.
It's
Such a shame, isn't it? It's a short.
You've been
only event.
invited.
I think I've been invited, yeah.
I'm pretty sure you've been
I hope
invited.
so. I'm planning on going. I just haven't got the official paperwork through yet.
I've been asked to do something on the red carpet with...
You have?
Yeah, with...
What,
guess,
Stacey Dooley?
Right, the name you just said is about as random as the person I've just been asked to do something on stage with, so...
Jesse Plemons?
No.
Oh.
And I'll give you a clue. It's a lady, and I think she might be a United fan. But I could be wrong on this.
Is she a football known?
No.
Oh. Is it Danny Harmer who used to play Tracy Beaker?
No.
Okay, that's my only guess. Go on.
Edith Bowman.
Really?
Yeah.
Radio legend.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be cool.
Is she a red?
I don't know.
It wouldn't shock you if I was like, do you know if Edith Bowman's a red? And you go, oh, yeah.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
But I don't know if she is or not. But I've been asked to do
Are
something.
you gonna do it?
If I can get a babysitter.
Ronaldo, have you ever done babysitting?
Him and Blake have got the same mental age, so...
I
They have great conversations, actually.
I have with my little sister.
See? You
But
got a babysitter right there.
other than that, I ain't the babysitting type.
Oh, fair enough.
Him and Blake can have a very, very level conversation, though.
Just a full night watching Peppa Pig, just getting so into it.
Peppa Big quality.
Peppa Pig is good. Bluey's good.
No, you're all wrong. No, actually, Blue's good, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But the best one is Dougie.
Yeah, you like Dougie, don't you?
Dougie
Did you
Days.
know that the highest rated episode of any TV show on IMDb is an episode of Bluey called Sleepy Time? It's got a 9.9 out of 10 rating. It's like the highest rated TV show of all time.
I'm
It's a
surprised.
10-minute
I'm
long
surprised with that knowledge. There hasn't been people that have gone into IMDb and give it a low rating
I
on
think
purpose.
it used to be.
There is haters
It
like
was
that.
10 for like years, and I think then it went down to 9.9. But it's like the best rated TV show of all time, so people should watch it like 12 minutes long. Wicked, isn't it?
Right, man. That's my weekend.
Should we do that after we've wrapped up? Lovely. Right, thanks for joining us. See you in a bit.